And speaking about events that have happened over the week, and one key event that will be happening today is the state funeral for Queen Elizabeth II. We have seen that since her passing on September the 8th, there's been a long line of activities that has happened thus far. We've seen the Vigil of the Princes. We've seen a lot of persons come to pay their last respect. British subjects have come to pay their last respects. Tourists have also come to pay their last respect to tell her thank you for 70 years of service and goodbye later today. And we've seen the family united in grief coming to, mourn publicly. And one would say that the UK and the royal family have had to come to terms with the fact that the Queen is gone. Sam.
Yes, it's going to be a sad day for a lot of people around the world who have come to see the monarchy as a representation of the glory of the Windsors, as the family there, and you know that they have a storied past. And you know the way the people have gone about it, I wonder. It's about 2 weeks now since she died, and a lot of people have died since then. Beggars, chiefs, prominent locals. Here in Nigeria, people have died, but it looks like even in death, the Queen Elizabeth II is still oppressing oppressing people. People are not permitted to even bury their own dead in pomp or in pageantry because the Queen of England is dead. I have my own heart for them that she's dead. I have my own little condolence, but I'm looking at the bigger picture here. Yeah. And I feel that, that the whole thing is, for me, it's overdone. Let them do it and let us move on with our lives. Let us move on with our lives. Shakespeare said in Julius Caesar, he said, when beggars die, there are no comets seen. He said, but even the heavens blaze forth the death of princes.
Right.
Yeah, that's what has happened. But the whole pageantry, the pomp, the ceremony, and all of it is all fine. But I think that after all of this is done, all the wealth that they stole from our people, all the sins that have been committed in the name of the monarchy over the centuries, it is high time for them to sit down and say, this is how we are going to pay back. Abiola, as I wrote in my column this morning, is supposed to be the hero of the moment for saying that they should pay us reparations. I don't think they should bring the money to all these governments, right, all these our thieving governments in Africa. But there should be some kind of trust where a lot of the money, trillions, we don't know how much they own. Only the carriage alone, the golden carriage that the Queen rides on, by today's standard is worth probably $500 billion. $500 billion. So if you put $500 billion in a trust, you can send so many people from school, take many people out of poverty and all of that. I can't imagine how much all of them have. So I think that
but some would say that she is deserving of this state funeral and the attention she's getting for giving so much. She dedicated her life to service, and they are out coming to say thank you and goodbye, as it is being said. Yes, there are those who are repugnant of the monarchy, but they are also coming out to pay their last respect. It goes to show the kind of person she was to them, to those who are thinking, okay, we have to pay our last respect. We've seen the British subjects come out, close shops, saying all their employees should come out to pay their last respect, staying in queues for 13 hours, some even 24 hours, Kemi. We even saw someone like Beckham also stood for 13 hours. And when he got into the Westminster Hall, he wept, really.
We may never get to know, the full terms of why the Queen was weighed and even still being weighed this, magnanimously, if that is the right word. We even had reports that Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau also, joined the queue to
Absolutely,
pay
yes.
his last respect
With
at
his
the
wife.
Line and State. Well, after 4 days now, the Line and State ceremony, so to speak, is now over, and so we are now a few hours away from the burial proper,
Yes.
which will last up until about 7:30 p.m. today. Like I said, we may never get to know, while the world generally is so enamored by the Queen, and we may not know, or look at now that the king is now in power, many people have even said that they can never be the same. The world can never weigh both the
Will
Queen
he be able to right the wrongs?
and the Queen. As in, they may never be able to be rated equally. And to the crucial points that Sam has made, I think it is good. It's worthy that Britain comes to terms with its liability to the rest of the world, especially nations that they colonized, in the past. Of course, there's also another argument that if you weigh how each of these countries have fared, even after the Britons left, if you look at the situation in Nigeria now, how well have we fared compared to Ghana, compared to South Africa and all that? So there is a place for the government, for the British government to come to terms and the royalty to come to terms and to, more or less make reparations. But then respective countries also need to be more accountable to the people.
Yes, they did some things, but how far are we as a country and all those other countries trying to right those wrongs that perhaps they have done, or how have we moved on from what it is that we have seen them do, so to speak? How have we tried to, ensure that cohesion amongst persons within the country? But that is left to be said much later. The conversation with that will come up much later. Well, we need to bring you the news updates now, and we begin on the foreign scene, where Britain and millions of people around the world will bid their final farewell to Queen Elizabeth II. There will be multiple components to the Queen's funeral, which will unfold throughout the day in both London and Windsor. Her state funeral will take place at Westminster Abbey in London at 11 a.m. and 2,000 people are expected to be in attendance, and security operation will be top-notch to protect the funeral, as more than 10,000 police officers and staff have been deployed in London. Hundreds of thousands of people are also expected to line the streets of the capital as they wait to catch a glimpse of the funeral procession to say their final goodbyes to Britain's longest reigning monarch. Among dignitaries who have already arrived in London for the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II is Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who will represent the country at the funeral of the Queen. He is also expected to hold a bilateral meeting with James Cleverly, UK Foreign Secretary.